Hello. I just discovered something. Excuse me. I realized that the reason how my videos on my computer upload way faster than the videos on my phone because they take up less space. um I mean, like, I just did a video, and well, like, a 20-minute video on my computer is like only it's like under 200 megabytes, but if it was a 20-minute video on my phone, that would take up 3 gigabytes. And I'm like, well, no wonder why um on my phone it's way quick. It takes way longer to upload. I just discovered that. So um I don't know. I haven't gone outside yet. I mean, probably not at all. I might go a little later, but that I don't want to hide in a hotel room all day. But um, I don't want to hide inside the hotel room all day. But yesterday I went and try to take a walk around the complex, and even in the parking lot, so many gang stalkers. I said I didn't even want to leave the complex, the premises, and the gang stalkers were. It's okay for them. I even think that they go inside of the buildings, and because yesterday if the hotel is full, and I saw um the gang stalkers when I went for my little walk around the building. I saw the gang stalkers had a super raggedy old red expedition with one headlight, and one of the young teenage boys, he had on red tennis shoes, sneakers, and one of the girls, teenage girls, she looked like she was very disabled or mentally handicapped or something. And then there were a couple of other gang stalkers who, the moment you walk outside, then they pull off and then let you know who they are. With the one tail, like in that other complex, the hotel, baby little hotel, that small little tiny hotel I was at in July, where that ghetto girl had confronted me, and that the girl's boyfriend, I bet you that wasn't her husband, and she confronted me and tried to call me slow and say something was wrong with me, and threatened to have me locked up in a mental institution, and threatened to call the police on me when I filmed them with the one head, with the one tail, like, and they were obvious with it, and they kept coming back and forth, like as if they delusionally believe they're real residents at the hotel or whatever. I'm sorry, my ear is itching so bad, and so she's like, "Oh, what's the matter? You can't talk or whatever." you know, and tries, "Oh yeah, something wrong with her." Y'all remember that video? So and they knew what they were doing, filming me. So that's why bother with I don't even bother with um you know I don't even bother with trying to go outside. And that's how it was when I had my own place, but before I knew I was gang stalked. And I would just stay in the house all day every day, you know, to avoid abusive mean people, and I didn't know I was a targeted individual being gang stalked, and I would stay in the house all day every day, sometimes up to a week straight. Every once in a while, I'll be not leave the house for 2 weeks, but most of the time not leave the house for a whole week. Y'all hear the sirens? And so, if we're supposed to ignore gang stalkers, but then how come we're not we don't have we're not supposed to ignore the police when they gang stalk? Yeah, we're forced to listen to their obey their orders, or we deserve to get shot. So the we have to I mean obey their orders, or else we deserve to get shot, like as if they're bigger and better than human. But it looks like it's gonna rain. I don't even know if it rained today, but I haven't gone outside at all today. And I have not gone outside at all. And all day I have been craving. I haven't had it in a while, but all day I have been craving burger and fries. But not McDonald's or mainstream fast food or anything, but something like um I don't know. I don't want to mention it because I don't want the perps to get ideas. But I I guess to satisfy that craving for burger and fries, I just have beef jerky and like organic beef jerky and some crackers and applesauce. And I didn't even intend for that to be early dinner. But I don't know, after lunch, I ate an early breakfast and early lunch, and after that, I was still hungry, insatiably hungry. Like, it was close to 7 o'clock, and I ate breakfast, and I ate food like as if there's a hurricane, because everybody's still talking about praying for Pensacola, even though it looks like as if the hurricane's supposed to hit the western Louisiana, the path or whatever. But they're saying that that we can still have river flooding or whatever. So that's why they're saying pray for Pensacola or whatever. Um, so it's like this hurricane thing is taking days, or it's taking a long time to do its path, you know. And I already feel it's been a couple of days, and I'm already feel like I miss eating regular food, because it seems like eating canned and packaged food, I end up being hungry faster, and even more so feeling hungry again. And it's like I feel like I don't want to overeat, because I was trying to go back to eating healthier, and um with survival food, it's hard to try to get healthier food, you know. So eating canned and packaged food, I can feel my body feeling hungrier and feeling weaker. And so I don't know, I just feeling depressed and upset and nervous about a lot of stuff. Like it was good that I called the police to get that girl. Would have been permanently off my back. Um she would have been permanently off of my back, because I called the police. But if I didn't call the police, she would have succeeded at taking my phone, and she would have done more damage. And so, you know, I didn't want the police to feel like their time was wasted if I said no, I didn't want to press charges. I just wanted to get her off my back. But it's like as if I had to, make a quick decision, because I was afraid they would have got mad and said, "Oh, you wasted our time," or whatever, you know. But they, I saw them put her in handcuffs, but I didn't see them put her in a car, you know. And um, this some kind of state attorney or whatever had called me from a private number, and it's like She said, "Well, so you still want to go follow through with the charges?" I'm like, "No, no, no, I don't want it." But then she's like, "Well, you acknowledge well she did something wrong. Well, why don't you want to press charges? Like as if she wanted me, you know, to try to manipulate me into proceeding through. Because I mean, I mentioned about how to y'all, I mentioned about how I'm scared of and hate lawyers, police, judges, courts, detectives, and everything, anything to do with law enforcement. But I don't know if that girl was gonna kill me or do whatever. So, because even after that guy defended me, and then he left, and then she acted like she wanted to try to attack me again until the police came. You know, so it's like I just wish that would have never happened at all. And the police, I'm surprised they took that serious. But if I talk about a rape or a sexual assault and I report that, they laugh in my face and don't take me seriously. You know, and so now that the attorney lady asked me if I wanted to keep her in jail, the girl in jail longer, and it's like I'm not sure, whatever, because and she's like, well, she has another charge, something. I think she was saying that she has another charge or something similar, another felony, something like that. I don't know. And so she said, "Oh, you don't have to do anything if you just say that you want her to be kept in jail longer for the maximum of a year, at least 1 year, to have her in jail." And then she said, "Well, the only way that you'll have to go to court is if she wait, what is it? Is if she wants to go to trial or something. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I'm just scared of it all. You know, um, even though the girl did assault me, she did hurt me and stuff. And that idiot, that what was his name? Eddie Stafford, talking about where's the marks at? I don't. You a complete stranger. I don't owe you an answer for shit. It's none of your fucking business anyway. Especially if you're a narcissistic perp, it's none of your business. But I know he comes from either, friends of somebody from that Kraft family or the cult, or from my twin sister or any other biological family members, or maybe the foster family, anybody. So I don't even know this Eddie Stafford person who try to troll my try to troll my my YouTube channel or whatever. you know, that's one thing these gang stalking perps need to mind their own freaking business. These narcissistic abusers and gang stalking perps, they're quick to tell me to mind my business, but they act like they think they own my business and all my personal business is supposed to be to belong to them, but they hate my guts. So I've been feeling high anxiety, not wanting to go to court, not wanting to deal with the law or anything like that. You know, at first the lady told me that I wasn't gonna have to deal with the court or anything at all, and then she turned around and said later on, she said only if the girl wants to go to trial or something like that. You know, but another targeted individual who I talked to said that that don't be don't, to be careful of whether to trust that, because he was trying to say that maybe them taking her to jail might have been a street theater or something fake, or probably pretending like they were taking her to jail. you know so yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that they took my complaint seriously this time, or that might have been fake too, or it could have been real. Know what to trust nowadays. And I don't even know if that was a gang stalking perp attorney who was fake nice on the phone. I don't even know if she was a perp or not. But, you know, I think I did mention about 5 years, over 5 years ago, when I was sexually assaulted by that guy. And the police officer asked me if I want to press charges, and he said he can always go do it to somebody else. And he's like, he can always go do that to somebody else. Like a book, like, and frighten me like a vicious dog frightening me. And he's like, he can always go do that to somebody else. And then, um, the guy lied his way out of it. And then it was strange that he sexually assaulted me, and then we were forced to go to court immediately. Immediately. I never heard of that before. Go to court immediately. And then, because when I said I was afraid to pursue it through, sometimes you might be afraid of retaliation or something like that. And that's why you'd be afraid to press charges, but you just want somebody off your back that's doing you something. And so then we immediately went to court, and I may have told the story before, and it was a black female judge and the guy who sexually assaulted me was black. and she was nodding her head and agreeing with everything he said when he was told nothing but lies. And when with the sexual assault, and then I was not allowed to say anything in court. And then the was the lady that was supposed to be a victim advocate, she acted tough like a cop, and she would come to find out she was a fake hypocrite, a fake hypocrite narcissistic abuser who was very hard and mean. And then she made false promises to help me out with my new place to live, my new apartment, and then she went AWOL on me and got hateful and just cut off all contact with me after making false promises. But she seemed extra controlling and narcissistic and then fake. And she acted like, I'm like, you're supposed to be a victim advocate, but then you sitting there agreeing with the perpetrator and the suspect 100%, and then agreeing that I should be forced to shut up the whole time in court when I'm not allowed to speak, that he's lying. That he's lying his way out of, the fact that he hugged me for an excuse to touch me on my ass, like sexually assault me, and then he was trying to fuck me, trying to have sex with me or whatever, and I didn't want to, and he tried to make it like as if he didn't succeed at raping me, but he tried, and he said, when I said, no, I don't want to have sex because, I don't want to go to hell. It's like, girl, you is not going to go to hell, and so he was running free. They let him go, and I'm like, ain't this about a bitch, And then he's sitting there, talking to the bus drivers and everything like normal later on, like a few months later, like as if nothing happened. But, he was one of those people who offered to help me bring my stuff to my storage unit for an excuse to justify, like as if I owe him sex in return, So, and I've had other, with the rape, couple of, rape experiences in the past. The police, like with the Freemason guy, the police laughed in my face, and they turned everything on me and criminalized me and wanted me in jail, and they falsely accused me of lying on the police report when they knew he was a Freemason and just wanted to protect him. That's Los Angeles, so Los Angeles is a Masonic city. It got Hollywood and everything, and people who say that they're targeted, they don't want to believe that all these random rapes is part of the gang stalking. They believe other females, but they don't want to believe me, and so I heard that happen to other female targeted individuals too. These random rapes by being raped by random strangers that happen too many times to be normal, by random different strangers. And so that's another reason why I don't leave my house, when I had one, just avoiding trouble, period, and then also moping around being depressed and stuff, So, it's like, it's just all these injustices, and I get no closure. I get no closure in all these injustices. And people want to talk about that I dwell on the negative or dwell on the past or dwell on too much. Well, it's either easier for other people to let go because they have their support system, whether real or fake. They have their support system, and it's like they have people to be supportive of them, even if they're lying, and they have people to be supportive of them, and that's why they get the closure that they're looking for. They get the closure and support. So that's why it's easier for them to move on and go on about their life. But me having nobody is why I have a harder time to try to get over it, whatever I'm going through, and a lot of times I just want to avoid people, just run away from people and just be away from people, you know. um, I don't know, it's like I've been feeling like wanting to cut out my own social life, just cut out social media, period. Like nobody's gonna miss me anyway, just cut out my social media and just fight this so-called targeting battle by myself because I feel like nobody's listening. Really feel like that. Like feeling like, where is everybody? You know, and I don't know. Life is getting more and more scary. Um, I really hate how the prison system treat you, even if you're innocent. It's like they treat you like a slave animal. They don't, like it's the way they treat you in the jail and prison system is so dehumanizing. Like to put a human in chains. You know, even if they're innocent, they put you in chains and or handcuffs or whatever. You know, that's sadistic. Like, and with BDSM sex or whatever, people think that handcuffs are sexy, handcuffs and whips and black leather pants and handcuffs, chains, and all that. Why do people get turned on by stuff like that? And then Hollywood and the mainstream media glorify and try to make it like as if it's supposed to be normalized when that's sick, you know. But it seems like going to hell. I mean, going to jail and being in handcuffs is like going to hell and being chained up, you know. But I don't think any innocent people are going to hell. Um, I don't think people who deserve heaven, but none of us do. None of us, because we all have been sinful and all that. So it's like, yeah, it's like, if, like they consider it a right to, they consider it righteous to starve you in jail or prison if you, even if you're not guilty of a crime and you're there and you're innocent. They think it's right. Like the fact that it was in 2007 I got arrested for, um in my whole, mentally slow, crazy biological family, they've been arrested for crimes that they're guilty of, but they thought I was supposed to be the laughing stock of the family. Like they try to hypocritically laugh at me. Y'all been in jail before. Not every family member, but a lot of them. The main ones who've been in jail or prison before and who've been guilty of a crime try to hypocritically laugh at me when they find out I got arrested. Laugh in my face when they find out I got arrested for a crime that I didn't commit. And um and ow, they just shocked me on my left side of my rib cage. Zapped me. Um so it's like getting laughed at by family members when I got arrested in 2007 because the guy scammed me online and I didn't know it was a check from a non-existent bank. I didn't know until I went to go cash it. And my jail experience, how they treated me was so fucking inhumane. And why that scammer guy, is still running free. Excuse me. The scammer guy is still running free and never went to jail. And he posed as a woman and had a guy voice on the phone. I was still young at the time, and dealing with the foster family and stuff, they never really taught us anything. They wait till we slip and make a mistake to yell at us and expect us to learn like that, rather than teaching us and telling us right and from wrong, or teaching and telling us certain things. They just straight yell at you when you make a mistake. So they didn't really teach us anything in foster care except to clean up and keep your mouth shut. Clean the house and keep your mouth shut and go to that fake cult Bible class. That was all they taught us. Really. So um so I didn't like us being the foster mom keeping us isolated and not allowing us to venture into the world. It's like ending up making so many mistakes that, and then you know one of the foster mom had this lady that I think she said was her cousin. I don't think that was her real cousin, because in New Orleans neighbors falsely call each other cousins. There was a neighbor further down the street, like a couple of blocks down, who tried to say, "Oh, you ask questions that people your age should already know." Not like, well, nobody ever taught me, nobody ever told me, and they get mad at me for being too curious or wanting to know, asking so many questions or whatever. And ever since being a young child, they try to talk about me asking so many stupid questions, so many questions that weren't stupid, but they just wanted to be cruel and mean. So talking about what I told you about asking all them silly questions, and I was 4 years old, just being treated like they hated me, So anyway, so me not knowing what signs of what to look for, the foster family, they're their own blame for why we grew up not having common sense. If they condemn and get mad at us for not having common sense, but then they didn't really teach us. But then some people feel like a common sense should be instinctual, not taught. But they never allowed us to learn and grow. They kept us handicapped and stunted, and they kept us ignorant, so that we could never learn anything. And so the foster mom, like later on in my teenage years, if somebody do me something dirty and that's very unfair, and the foster mom said, "Well, then welcome to the real world." you know it's not the real world, the fake world. But they think that the mainstream TV is the real world. Stupid people. So anyway, um it's like, so that guy was posing as a woman, and I was wondering, well, why you have him, and he was calling through VoIP, like voice over IP phone. And good thing I was smart enough to print out and save all the messages. But I had to get the like, after I got out of jail the next day, I had to get I had to get the records expunged, you know, and the case got thrown out. And it's like, when you go to the mental hospital, your picture when you go to the mental hospital looks kind of the same way of a jail mugshot, you know. And your hair be looking, it's like they want to make you look all crazy and everything. They want to make you look really crazy. It doesn't seem like people go to jail and get arrested when they're looking all nice and fresh in a suit and or anything like that. Nah, they get their mugshot and they end up looking so crazy, So anyway, in 2007, when after the girl, because I didn't know that it was a bad check. and she tried to make it like as if she lied and said that she wasn't going to call the police. And then and I begged her because I didn't know that it was a false check. Because if I would never knowingly cash a bad check, that's not me, you know. So if I would have known that the check was fraudulent, all she had to do was say that the check couldn't be cashed. But no, she went and snuck behind my back. She lied and said she was gonna call that she wasn't gonna call the police, and she snuck behind my back and called the police. And then the police put me in jail. and um and then there was a detective that he said, "I bet you done been to jail before, nigger." Like in Texas, they had no problem with calling you a nigger straight to your face. I got called nigger almost every day in Denton, Texas. They're very overt racists out there. And that's where they sent massive amounts of blacks from New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, like Dallas and Denton, Texas. And I think some Fort Worth also. I didn't get sent straight to Denton after Katrina. I bounced around, but certain biological family members got sent straight to Denton. And they said they were miserable and hated it and wanted to go back home to New Orleans. But some of them decided to stay in Texas. But so I said I don't ever want to go back to Texas again. But when I went to jail, one of the first things was a female police officer forced me to strip all my clothes off after, and then she was, fondling and touching all the uncomfortable parts of my body, if you know what I mean. And I remember, um, it was a bunk bed that was as uncomfortable as you can make it, and it was freezing cold up in there in that jail, and it was a super dirty, scary looking toilet, and I was really freaked out, and I knew I was innocent. And I didn't know that the guy scammed me and sent me a bad check until after I went to go cash it because I was trying to sell a camcorder for enough money to pay part of my tuition for college. Certain um after I graduated, I was trying to go back to school, and I was and I didn't. I mean, and the gay brother Mark was taking all the other money that I had. He was taking all my money, like, he was taking my money, using and taking advantage of me and stuff. And so I was left with no choice but to try to sell the camcorder, you know, and that was all I had to be able to sell in order to get money. But I didn't realize the guy wrote me a fake check for. I didn't realize that that was a scam that was going on. That he um intended to the scam guy wrote me a check that was more than the money that I asked for, and then he wanted me to Western. I didn't even. I was too bogged down on those psych medications to even question. Why would he want me to Why would he write me an amount over what I was asking for, and then wanted. I didn't realize till after he sent me the check that he wanted me that he wrote because he lied and said he was gonna write a check that much, but he ended up writing a check over that amount and then wanted me to Western Union him the money back. I mean, the remainder of the money back. And I was wondering, why would you do that? But I didn't know that he was setting me up. And so, if it wasn't for my gay brother Mark taking my money, I wouldn't have felt like. And then the gay brother Mark was pushing me to go back to school on purpose so he can try to take all my student loan money again. you know, um, it's like with narcissistic abuse and people trying to use and take advantage of you. It seems like you don't really wake up to the truth until after you get into a heated argument with them. Because he may be my brother, but that's how it is with the biological family. That I'm so estranged from everybody that I don't know. A lot of family members hate me, but I don't know them that well, and they deliberately, like the Kraft family and like the fake foster family, keep their personal life away from me. but they can know illegally know all my damn business, and they can spread and speak my personal business, but I'm not allowed to know something simple as you know when their birthday is. I'm not allowed to know even biological family members. I'm not even allowed to see what pictures of their kids look like. I mean, I have nieces and nephews or whoever that's floating around from some of my brothers that I don't even know what any pictures of them look like. And I probably never will know their names or see what their pictures look like or whatever. So um so that's how it is. How I have nieces and nephews that I will never get to be allowed to see what they look like or what their name is. It's like nothing in the family is like birth and death in the family is none of my business. You know, but as I say, you expect me to keep y'all secrets and y'all hate me, but then y'all, it's okay for them, for they get mad at me talking about me being a snitch or whatever, but it's okay for them to not snitch but lie on me or set me up, for, you know, but you can't snitch or tell on them. So, back to the story, in jail, they fed Jimmy Dean sausage, um, once they fed Jimmy Dean sausage in the in the morning, like the two tiny little sausage biscuits in the morning, and then a tiny little chicken pot pie for dinner, and nothing for lunch. And you felt like you were starving, and felt like you were hungry, and it was the longest night of my life. So I'm glad I got out of jail the next day. And when they fed me food, you know how when you feed a dog through this tiny little, like this big door, and then there's a little bit of small little entrance through the door that you feed a dog through. That's how they fed me, like giving me food through this little dog looking hole, that like when you feed, like how you, if y'all know what I'm talking about, how it's kind of hard for me to explain, but how they feed a dog, and like the way they treat you is so dehumanizing. And they give zero fucks about you in jail or prison. But I was locked up by myself, you know. So, I mean, that was very traumatic for me. And the foster mom used to act like she was prophesying and predicting that I'm gonna go to jail or whatever, and that I'm gonna grow up to go to jail and stuff. Or even she used to threaten me, saying that I'm gonna end up going to juvenile detention when I was a teenager. And I wasn't. That's fucked up that she would say that, because I wasn't even poorly. By the time I was in junior high and high school, I wasn't even poorly behaved. I straightened up my act and started to act better. But threatened me with juvie detention or whatever for no reason at all. For minor stuff. Here, to, like, as she's prophesying and predicting that I'm gonna be in jail or prison, that I'm gonna be homeless. That's part of the targeting their goals. Or I'm gonna be locked up in a mental institution. She kept making those threats to have me locked up in a mental institution, and other people too, like the mentally slow, crazy biological family. you know. So it's like I'm feeling super nervous. Um, you know, through numerous police incidents, I'm just traumatized by even their presence. Every time I see a police officer, I end up feeling like my heart race really fast. I sweat, start to have a panic attack just to see them. And when I was living in Los Angeles, I had traumatic nightmares about being in jail or prison, even after Los Angeles, even as of somewhat recently. having nightmares about being in jail or prison and then never being let out and stuff, and for crimes that I haven't committed. I don't even know. I heard about the dream manipulation, that how the gang stalkers can manipulate your dreams like that. You know, life is too scary. You know, um, I hate. It's no fun or no way to live to walk around just either extremely sad all the time or always angry, sad, and nervous. That and then the one bit of joy that I experience, I get condemned. Like people younger than me can just take a luxury trip to Cancun, Mexico, or let's see, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, or they can take a cruise or whatever to San Juan, Puerto Rico, or they can go take a flight to Greece or Italy or Thailand if they want to. But for me to just cross the bridge and go to the beach, just in here locally here in Pensacola, I get blocked or condemned for doing that. You know how close the beach is, compared to other countries. You know, so I mean, if I treat myself to a cone, an ice cream cone, I get condemned for that. If I treat myself to a smoothie, a fruit and a vegetable smoothie, I get condemned for wasting my money. If it's 32 ounces for $5, how's that wasting money if that's a sale? So, I get condemned, for trying to eat a healthy meal. I get condemned for eating junk. Um, like I can never win, and then people be like, save your money. Well, if I had money to save, I wouldn't need to ask for donations if I had money to save. Save your money. Or they think that $803 is more than enough to live off. Well, if it was more than enough to live off, I would be housed. Well, I was housed off of less money than this, like 700 something, but I had that Section 8. And it's like, you know, it's like I felt like I didn't care how, and I thought that I was just being bullied like that because of, on low income, not everybody, but in the hood, in bad neighborhoods, people don't act human. They try to act like how to they want to act like uncivilized animals. Like as a freaking jungle or something, or like as if we're out in the wild. They don't even act human and act considerate or respectful of their neighbors. And I thought it was just low because I was in a low income neighborhood that people were acting, out of character, like blasting music and revving up vehicles and just noise harassment. I didn't realize it was part of the gang stalking, that even if I lived in a richer neighborhood and had enough money, then they would have the noise campaign. I didn't know I was targeted at the time, but I'm going through just so many emotions right now. Feeling more uncomfortable and nervous that people who I didn't want to find my social media found it and start stalking and spying on me and having other people stalk and spy on me. And I feel like I feel halted from my books and feel like exposing any truth. And I feel like, well, if I did, I had to put my autobiography on hold because I felt like, well, if I were to talk about my own autobiography and expose what I know, and which they didn't even think I knew, I bet I don't know if I don't even know if I would still be alive. If I expose, I mean, I already exposed some stuff, but there's more stuff and it's bigger, and I don't even know if now is the right time to even expose it or speak out. You know, and everything seems just so sensitive right now. And then I got other stuff going on, and I don't, wicked people who think that they have the authority to monitor you and think they have the authority to watch you, like as if they're righteous, but they're wicked and think they're righteous, and they're pure evil and they need to be stopped. You know, when they really think that they're righteous and they're evil and wrong. Who are you? I mean, if people tell me, I'm not in no place to judge, but tell the gang stalkers. You hear those kids screaming? Tell the gang stalkers that they're in no place to judge, because that's what they're doing. They judge and condemn us, and then they have fake hypocrites and gang stalking perps who are narcissistic, who try to make you doubt your faith in Jesus Christ, or try to make you feel like a failure Christian, or feel inferior, um, and try to make like and even say there's no hope in heaven for you, while they think that they puff themselves up about how they can serve God better than you and stuff like that. They think they can serve God better than you, or that they can pray more fancy or more effectively than you can, and you just end up feeling like a failure and feeling bad and stuff. And I don't know, it's like I have more stuff I need to express, but I just feel like mentally crippled right now, and just feel like I can't even express myself the way I really want to. Like my mind is kind of blank, right? Well, not blank, but feeling just I don't know what's the right word, but feeling like a mental anesthesia or something. Like I can't even really, feeling like a mental cripple, like I can't freely think of the right words to express myself the way I really want to. And it's like me being given the evil eye by and hated by other gang stalkers, plus the targeted individual community even hate and ignore me and judge me too and kick me down. And it's like, um who I feel like, who do I have? Or like I don't really have anybody really to turn to if everybody has me hated and blocked. And it's like as if I'm judged and condemned and punished by the so-called targeted individual community in the same way as the Masonic and other perps and fake people hate me. People out in society. You know, and then there's always the, these people who dish out unsolicited advice, targeted or not, a narcissistic control freak, fake friend or not. It's like they dish out unsolicited advice in a way that make me feel like as if they think I'm really retarded and really slow. There's a lot of people who, make me feel like I'm really retarded and really slow and don't know any better, or like I'm always doing something wrong, or their way is better, or that they can use better judgment and think better than I can. And like as if I have to question my every move, like, is this good judgment? Is that good judgment? Or is this right? Is this wrong? Like everything I do or say is something wrong with it, that my every move has to be controlled and corrected, you know, and just being treated like as if I'm dumb, you know. But then when I really need help, everybody ignores me, you know. And then some other targeted individuals get frustrated and say that everybody ignores them too. But some people handpick of what they want to be supportive about, or what they want to help. And then when you really left to bleed to death psychologically and mentally, everybody ignore you and leave me hanging about the topics that are the most sensitive to me, that I feel the most sensitive about, you know. But I don't know why, today when I ate the hurricane food, is what I'm gonna call it. I ate the hurricane food, and I ate the hurricane food, and it you know I ate the hurricane food, and today I just felt this extra hunger, like, and feeling a little finally satiated right now. But I think it happened when I was at the other hotel too. And I'm bitter and angry at a few people who have been ignoring me lately. Like the lady at the pool when I was trying to ask about a shower, and she still hasn't returned my call. I know she's ignoring me on purpose because she gave me a problem before too. And so it looks like I won't be able to have showers on the campus at all. So after this 2.5 weeks, if I don't get housed or a place to live, then I won't be able to go take a shower on the campus, on the college campus. So, um, it's like, and then other situations where I needed help and people get mad and ignore me, you know, um, and it's like, even they don't care how important my need is for something. Like me having to call a former employer and tell them that I need W-2s for that Section 8 needs copies of my W-2s or whatever, and then the former employer would ignore the shit out of me and don't care what my need is and how desperate I am for help that I need, for example, to get copies of those W-2s, and then they refuse contact with me and ignore me. And you can't tell me that you're not a gang stalker, or that you're not narcissistic, or that you're not initiated, or you haven't sold your soul and you treat me like that. Or you can't tell me you're Christian and you treat me like that, because ignoring people for no reason, that's not love thy neighbor. you know that's not love thy neighbor. So it's like I've been feeling psychologically and mentally exhausted and frightened, and feel like I might need to take a mental hiatus from social media. I don't know how long, but I'm debating on whether or not to do it. I don't know. But I hate just feeling constantly exhausted. But earlier today I tried to try to apply for a couple of jobs. One of them turned out to be scam, and the other one, you know, I don't it, it was a delivery job, but I don't know if I can do it. But me trying to just show that I'm diligent with job hunting is why I persisted to try to pursue that job. You know, so but I don't know. It's Everything is just too hard and confusing, and I feel like maybe I should just forget about employment and just stick with my writing. But I think the writing is better for me because I can start and stop when I want to, and but at the same time it's harder to get money that with artistic and creativity. Like some people just rely on their personal art, like even if they're drawings or paintings or whatever, and that's strictly what they do. But their income is not guaranteed unless you sell your soul to the devil and become a famous one. That's when you get loads and loads of money. But I noticed that the books that I write won't get much of any attention because the fact that it's not glorifying the occult or esotericism, um, anything dark, evil, witchcraft. It doesn't glorify any of that. So that's why it's not. I mean, I see how popular some of the people in the writing community on Twitter, how their books promoting evil and dark, twisted fantasies or whatever is getting spread around and getting more success than something like mine. My stuff get overlooked, and then as I said, I'm not trying to be a certain kind of writer. I'm just expressing myself. I don't even want my writing to be structured or following this and that guidelines. I just want to freely express myself with no stress, but less stress, because I already be sleep deprived and get stressed with this targeting. and gang stalking and stuff like that. So um, I'm just, you know, I don't know. I'm sorry. I keep stuttering and feeling kind of like unsure of what to say next, but y'all can tell I'm feeling kind of nervous right now. Just nervous about everything, but I'm still putting the autobiography, put it on hold, even though I'm still, expressing certain things in video journals or just open talk, or talking about certain personal experiences in my life, you know, as I did in this video, and numerous others, not everyone, but quite a bit, you know. And so um I feel like a burden of relief and release when I can talk my problems out rather than just holding everything in. Because if I hold everything in, one friend years ago told me that if you hold your problems in, that it's like all the pressure is, imagine all the air being put into a balloon, and eventually it's so much air and then it bursts and pops. So that means if I'm letting in all these problems and not letting it out or expressing myself, and they just keep building and building and growing, then I eventually burst, meaning like lose my temper or go off or something. And I did a video saying that targeted individuals need to be more supportive of each other rather than blocking and hating each other for no reason. And me personally, I feel like I personally don't have enough more like emotional support. You know, I don't have enough emotional support or enough people to listen to me, or be on my side. You're always defending the gang stalkers and finding something, nitpicking and finding something to find me wrong. You're wrong for this, but the gang stalkers have a right to do this and do that. Like whose side are you on? And like whose side are you on? I thought if you're targeted, you shouldn't have a reason to defend those people who want us in hell. They want us to not exist on the face of this earth. People who don't like us. So why you hate? You know, um, but it's like I feel angry that I wish I was making my own money and had my own everything. I don't even care about a career or living dreams anymore. I just would like to be just um financially independent and a quiet place to live and my own vehicle. Um, I don't care if it's a you know, I always like new stuff, but I heard new is dangerous nowadays. With They said that there are microchips in your vehicle, or if you have a new car, then your vehicle can be electronically or some kind of way turned off for the new world order. That your vehicle, if you had an old car, it'd be easier to get out of Dodge or whatever. I really hate old stuff. I always like new stuff, you know. But I it seems, but in a way, it seems like newer vehicles, they just look more attractive, they look better, fresher, nicer. But at the same time, I heard that they can be toxic nowadays, and um have certain chemicals in it that cause nosebleeds, which is scary. And that your car is stalking and spying on you and can track you wherever you go, and it's just really frightening that it's no treat to have a new car nowadays like you thought it was, but they just be attractive and new and nice. But um but the seats in new vehicles don't seem like they're as comfortable as older vehicles. um like it seems like older vehicles seem like they were more comfortable and more spacious, but now everything, not just cars, but you ride on trains and buses and stuff, and everything is so compact. Like you ride on the Greyhound bus, and with the Greyhound bus that you ride is no, they lie and say that they have increased legroom and Wi-Fi and all that. The Wi-Fi is not even guaranteed on the bus. And then the legroom, they lie about the legroom. They lie and say the buses are newer and cleaner, though they're raggedy old ugly buses, raggedy old ugly dirty buses, and they have no legroom on a Greyhound bus. And on transit buses, they don't have much space, and everything is so compacted and congested. You know, even on planes, airplanes, they don't seem that spacious. Everything is so compact. I don't know, for the new age, and to take away our individuality and to pack us like sardines. Um, and nobody will have anything of their own in the near future. You know, so I'm done rambling on for talking about this right here, this talk right here. So thanks for listening. And for you few who, there are times I might feel like I have nobody, and they might have some people who really are feel like they're supportive. So if you really, I mean, I just been let down by so many people. I just feel like I have nobody, even if I do might have somebody. So thanks for listening and taking me seriously, and thanks for caring. I might be talking to the air, might be talking to nobody. Maybe nobody's listening. Maybe somebody might listen. And it's not about pity and attention. You know, it's not about trying to get attention or get people to feel sorry for me or anything like that. Only occultists and the narcissistic abusers feel that way, that I want pity and attention that I don't deserve for my voice to be heard. And they gave me at least 6 thumbs down. They probably manipulated it by now, but at least 6 thumbs down by saying that I got a temporary roof over my head. And wow, that many people want me to be back still on the streets. You don't want me to be safe during a hurricane. It's y'all the ones who lack humanity, not me. So I'll see y'all. Bye.